Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump and today I'll be reviewing Persona 5 the animation, which was released back in 2018. Now, not the game, this anime is an adaptation of the Persona 5 game, kind of like how the Persona 4 anime was an adaptation of Persona 4 the game. And the story kind of followed the same as Persona 5, in which you're a phantom thief and you basically have to change the hearts of evil people and basically reform society. And it's basically the story to Persona 5. And this anime is well known for being bad. Well, what I mean by that is that the anime, in terms of how it looks, was made by A1 Pictures, who is, I think, from what I've heard, quite well known for rushing certain projects and stuff like that. From what I've known, I'm not 100% on that. So yeah, and you can see that some parts of the anime look rushed, and if you freeze frame like any bit from or some of the bits from Persona 5 the anime, there are some wonky parts of it. I think one of the most well known ones is probably during the All Out attack. That it doesn't look really good when compared to the game, where that looks more fluid and stuff like that. And obviously, it is well known for having 3G, or not 3G, CG in it, and having 3D models and stuff like that. So, for instance, the shadows and stuff like that. So, like whenever they become the personas that you can get in the game, they all look CG, or they are basically all CG, and that that takes a lot of the elements. I think that takes you out of it a bit, because if you compare the Persona 5 anime to the Persona 4 one, the Persona 4 one looks a lot better, and all of the things, a lot of the personas that there are in the anime in for Persona 4 aren't CG, they're all drawn. And I feel like, and again, from what I've heard, the Persona 5 anime was rushed, and yeah, I can clearly see that. But the only thing I think that kind of saves this anime a bit and helps to watch through it is the dub version, because you can clearly tell that the voice actors for the dub are having a lot of fun. For instance, there's a moment towards the end of the Konoshiro arc, when all the Phantom Thieves have to escape from the palace of Konoshiro. Um, when when Ryuji had, because in the anime there are some slight differences, but not a huge lot. And one of those differences that in the game, when they need to escape, Ann is the one to throw Morgana, but in the anime it's Ryuji. And what I like about this particular one is that when Ryuji does throw Morgana, before Morgana turns into a bus, Ryuji says "yeet," which is really cool, because the fun fact about that scene is that Ryuji's English voice actor Max Middleton improvised that bit. So I think you can clearly tell that the voice actors are having a really fun time. And another thing that I do like is that how Joker has some of the more memeable answers, you could say. Like during, I think after the second palace, I think that was Marurame's one, I believe. When you before, I think it's when you unlock Temperance, which is Kawakami's one. Joker does the "I'm a dad" line, which was in the game, which is, I think, it's really fun. And I want to focus on Joker for a bit, and that is because he rarely speaks in the show, and he does speak from time to time, but it's more of the fact that it's more he's kind of like more like the silent protagonist, kind of like in Persona 5, where he does have some lines here and there, but that's mainly your contribution to it. Like, oh, I'm picking this answer for this particular person, or I'm just adding a bit to the conversation in another part of the game. And yeah, and again, if you compare this to Persona 4 with Yunao Akami, I would say that Yunao Akami, when comparing it to Persona 4, or not Persona 4, Persona 5 anime, I would say that Yunao Akami speaks a whole lot more in that anime than Joker does. And yeah, I do kind of wish there was more lines for Joker to have every now and again, not just him being the silent protagonist for the entire game. Um, yeah, and one of the praises that I do have for this anime, apart from apart from the dub, is the anime added an Akechi social link of sorts, because this game, like with Persona 4 anime and the Persona 3 anime as well, which I'll probably do later down the line in terms of reviewing it, is that the anime brings in the social links. So you've got, Ryuji social link, Arn's, the Futaba's, and all the other social links that you can see in the game. But one thing that the anime kind of does its own, in terms of it bringing in itself, is doing an Akechi social link, which kind of did happen in the original Persona 5. But that was mainly more automated and more. Every time you spoke with Akechi, it was just, oh, you just got a new rank, and the anime was actually released before Royal, before we got all the new Akechi stuff in his social link in that game. So I think that's one of the greatest things that the anime did, in terms of how it adapted the game, in which it took Akechi's social link in that game and just brought it and just made it and kind of fleshed it out a bit and stuff like that. So yeah, and I think that's really cool. The battles, I kind of feel like a typical shonen type anime, in terms of, oh, you've got one group of people just firing energy blasts and stuff like that, and it does feel the same in here in the Persona 5 anime. And yeah, it's I think it's okay, I guess. It's not the best, but it has some nice elements. I do enjoy it. Yeah, I think overall the Persona 5 anime it's okay, but I feel like with enough time, it could have been good. I think it could have been, a whole lot enjoyable, or well, a whole lot more enjoyable. I think it could have gotten enough praise if it wasn't just rushed out and just, here's a Persona 5 anime. So yeah, it does have some janky bits here and there, but it does have some enjoyable moments in it. So yeah, so that's been my review for the Persona 5 anime. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.